Hey guys, it's Bro You Whack, and first thing I gotta say is that I am loving Hammond. I absolutely love him. I don't know, he is the tank for me. Originally, I thought Diva was the one for me, and then I thought Orisa, but I don't know what is with me and Hammond, but we were made for each other. I don't know, I just thought I started the video with that. But today, what we're going to be talking about is sort of like a counter list for both who counters Hammond and who Hammond actually counters. Because I feel like a lot of people are going to be arrogant whenever it comes to Hammond, saying that he's overpowered, oh, he's not killable, what are we going to do? Because I guarantee you, there's going to be someone in the lobby, probably me, that's going to completely destroy you as Hammond. All jokes aside, though, there's going to be times where you're not going to know how to deal with Hammond. Maybe one or two counters, but if I just make a tiny little list and just kind of explain what's going on and why these are counters for Hammond, then it'll just set you up for better success in the future. So let's get on with the video. But real quick, I just want to say this isn't a Hammond guide. Unless you want to see a Hammond guide, then let me know, because I can totally record that. I'm always hesitant because it seems like people really don't care for the guides anymore. I don't know, it's very weird. They want to know about the hero, but not the full-length guide for the hero. It makes no sense to me. But either way, let's get on with the lists. So first things first, let's talk about the heroes that counter Hammond, because Hammond is clearly a tank, so there's going to be some obvious picks that you want to try to play, but then there are some other heroes that you can play to make him less effective, and I always consider those picks heavy counters because you're not necessarily there to kill that specific hero, but to make them less effective. A perfect example of this is someone like Pharah. When you see a Pharah, who do you want to play as to counter him? Obviously someone like Soldier McCree, but you can also play someone like Diva, not necessarily to kill the Pharah, but to just make her less effective. So with Hammond, the first and obvious counter that you want to try to play is going to be Reaper. Why? He is literally a big giant ball that is perfect for the crosshairs for Reaper. So it just kind of makes sense. Reaper, he's a tank buster. He's obviously there to just bust a lot of tanks, bust a lot of balls, literally bust a lot of balls, and Hammond is no exception to that. Whenever Hammond is trying to dive in the back line or just dive onto your team, dive onto your healers, Reaper is going to be there like, hey, surprise, I'm here to kill you, death, 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 and just kill you right there. That's just the obvious kind of counter. Any day of the week, that's probably going to work most of the time. Plus, on top of that, you're not really going to be dying as Reaper if you're going against the Hammond. If you do, you just suck. I'm gonna be honest. If you're constantly dying from Hammond and you're a Reaper, what are you doing with your life? But the next counter for Hammond is not going to be someone like Reaper, who, if you're on the field, your main job is to be killing Hammond. More or less is to make him less effective. Someone like Sombra is an excellent counter for Hammond, not because of her primary fire, but because of her secondary fire, her hacking ability, her main niche as a hero. So when you hack Hammond, you make him a completely useless and pretty much stationary hero, because he relies so much of his abilities. Because if you look at his toolkit, let's just go through it real quick. He has his grappling hook. Okay, he's not able to do that. He's not able to run away with that, because you can if you're playing Hammond. He doesn't have a shield ability, which he uses when he's getting in the mix of fights, which he really should be doing, because, well, his shield expands if he's around a bunch of heroes, but he can't use it if you hack him. He's not able to use his ultimate like a lot of heroes, and he's not able to go into his ball form. This is his biggest thing, because this is his second biggest mobility factor. His main form of mobility, but if you use a grappling hook, then you go a whole lot faster. But if he doesn't have that shift ability available, you are able to focus him, and at that point you probably may kill him as Sombra. Or if you have a Reaper on the field, then he's definitely just gonna have a field day with his shotguns, but now you're gonna be able to focus the Hammond that's in the middle of your team. That is why Sombra is a great counter. Not necessarily kill him, like I said before, but just to really make him less effective when he's doing his job. It's not really the Hammond's fault, but you're capitalizing on the weakness that Hammond has, and that is needing to get into the middle of the fight. If you capitalize on it, everyone's gonna love you as Sombra. But another thing that I forgot to mention with Sombra that you might not know about is that whenever you use your EMP for Hammond's ultimate, like when all the mines go out of his little body, those get destroyed on impact. You just got an EMP and they go away. So that's also another factor that is important when concerning, okay, well, what do I need to play when countering Hammond? Well, if he's about to use his ultimate and you know it, you probably want to play Sombra to try to get rid of all his mines. And the last and final hero that really does counter Hammond pretty well that I discovered in my games is Briggite. Now, this isn't the hero that you automatically want to try to pick when you see the Hammond. Like when you see Hammond on the field destroying you guys, it's like, all right, I need to play Briggite. No, not really, but what you do want to play, if you're playing someone like Ana, if you're playing someone like even Mercy and you're constantly getting destroyed, maybe you do want to play someone like Briggite just because of her shield bash. So one thing I do as Hammond is I like to swing a lot and also just ground pound. Well, that ground pound gets stopped if you are bashed from Briggite because it's a stunning ability. It's similar like how McCree, if he throws a flashbang, you just get stopped in your tracks. Even if you're in the middle of ground pounding, if they can time it well enough, well, Briggite is going to be able to stop you. So really, that's more or less just a switch counter. It's not someone that's going to be heavily counting Hammond, but it's someone that won't be dying so much to Hammond. Briggite, she has a lot of utility. She has a lot of tools that can semi-stop Hammond, not really kill him, but more or less just live when they're facing against a Hammond, because there are a lot of heroes that Hammond can kind of counter in a sense. And one of those heroes that Hammond counters, now we're on the list of heroes that Hammond can easily destroy, easily can counter, is someone like Zenyatta. Kinda. It's more or less like a give or take kind of counter. So what I mean by that, let's use an example like McCree and Tracer. Tracer and McCree is obviously built for Tracer, and if the McCree is better than Tracer, and 10 times out of 10, they're going to destroy the Tracer. But if the McCree doesn't know what they're doing, and they miss the flashbang on the Tracer, well, now Tracer can easily kill McCree. So it's like a give or take for both counters. Same thing with Hammond and Zenyatta. Zenyatta is very, very, very slow, and can easily be picked off by Hammond if he's not careful. However, if the Hammond doesn't know what he's doing, well, you can easily just throw a Discord on Hammond, and easily just fire a lot of shots into the Hammond. So that's why I say it's a give or take kind of counter, because if the Hammond doesn't know what he's doing, he's going to be feeding the Zenyatta ultimate charge because of the Discord and since he's so fat. But if the Zenyatta doesn't know what he's doing, well, he's so slow and so nimble that the Hammond is just gonna be able to slap him all day with his ground pound, with shoddy thingies. I don't know what they're called. His turrets. But another hero that Hammond just absolutely destroys all day, every day is someone like McCree. This isn't a give or take kind of counter, more or less, is just a hero that Hammond can easily counter. Just because, well, first of all, McCree is very slow. Similar like how Zenyatta is, McCree doesn't have a lot of utilities or a lot of tools to really get out of there or get away from Hammond's ground pound. Because one thing you have to remember with Hammond's ground pound is that it brings heroes closer to you. So if you don't have your combat role with McCree, you're not going to be getting away from Hammond anytime soon. And you're also going to be able to outlive his flash the hammer. So yes, he may be able to flash you and fan the hammer, but you're going to be able to live it if you are able to land a lot of headshots on McCree. And since he's so slow and since he doesn't have a lot of protection with him, you should be able to get those headshots and easily kill just McCree. So whenever I'm going into like a big fight, whenever I'm ground pounding, most of the time I'm going after those slow heroes, and it's always going to be like an Ana or a Zenyatta or a McCree. Not really a Soldier because, well, Soldier can easily run away and also heal himself. So that's why I say McCree, Zenyatta, or any slow hero like an Ana or something are good, easy targets for Hammond just to have a field day on. And the last counter I need to mention, which Hammond is just so perfect for, is Reinhardt. Hammond destroys, he doesn't destroy Reinhardt, but really just pushes him away from the choke point, because let's use Eichenwald for an example. Eichenwald is a great spot for Hammond just to really swing right under the bridge right before you go and capture the point. Usually, a Reinhardt's going to be standing there with his shield. Well, if you're able to swing right under the bridge, you're going to be able to knock him back, and in turn expose their back lines, or at least expose their front lines, like their McCrees or their soldiers or whatnot, but that also allows your team to push in. So that's why Hammond is going to be so perfect for Reinhardt, because Reinhardt's so big and is going to be easily able to be hit by the Hammond. And really, all you really got to do is just continue to swing and just get that Reinhardt out of there, and you're good to go. Reinhardt is not a hero that's going to be completely destroyed by Hammond, so I take my word back that I said earlier, but it's going to be a hero that is going to be less effective. So if you want to make a Reinhardt less effective, play a Hammond, because you're going to be able to swing him away from the front lines and maybe even build your ultimate by shooting him because he's just so big. And that is my list of just a few heroes that counter Hammond, but also Hammond does counter. I just thought I'd just do it from both sides because it's very important when looking at a new hero on what you need to do, but also what you need to switch off of. Because, well, if there's a Hammond on the field and you're playing Reinhardt, you need to be very careful because you don't have Fortify like Orisa. So if you still need a shield, consider playing like an Orisa or maybe maybe, shoot, maybe even another Hammond, or maybe even a Winston if you still need that bubble protection. But please let me know what you think of Hammond. Do you think he's very versatile on what he can do? I mean, I'm just loving him so much. He's so much fun to play, and I cannot wait to get his gold gun. I still feel bad I didn't get his gold gun. But anyway, guys, I love you guys. Thank you guys for watching. More Overwatch videos to come, and bye.